Today we continue with the chapter. In the previous topic we have discussed about the male reproductive system. Now today we are here to discuss about the female reproductive system. Here on the board you can see the diagram of the female reproductive system. So let us have a discussion over here. Just go through the diagram. See here, this female reproductive system, it consists of two ovaries. In male reproductive system there are two testes. Okay, in female reproductive system there are two ovaries. So just have a look over here. I am writing over here on. There are two ovaries, one on the left side and the other on the right side. Then from these two ovaries arises two oviducts. Then these oviducts, they open into the common structure which we call as the uterus. Uterus is also called as the womb. Then uterus has the opening, that is the cervix, and this cervix open into the vagina. This vagina opens to the outside. So here we say that the ovaries, oviduct, uterus, cervix and vagina, these are the parts of female reproductive system. Now we just have a look over here on the diagram. See here, this is the vagina, cervix, then comes the uterus. From uterus, two tubes arises on the sides called as the oviduct. Oviduct moves into the finger-like structures. These are called as fimbriae. These are called as fimbriae. And fimbriae, then comes the ovary. And ovary contains the ovum, or we call as the egg. Okay. So now we just have a look over here. See the vagina, cervix, ovary, ova, fimbriae, oviduct, then the uterus. Uterus has three layers. The outer one is called as the perimetrium, middle one is called as the myometrium, and the inner one is called as the endometrium. So uterus wall or uterus layer consists of these three. Then this complete structure is constitute the female reproductive system. Now how these different parts work as or help in the reproduction. So see here, first we start from the ovary. Ovary, we say it is the main female reproductive organ which is responsible for release of ovum. In male, testis is the male reproductive organ which is meant for production of sperm. So now just stick to the words. I said testis, production of sperm. And when we talk about the ovaries, release of ova. So there is a difference between production and ovum. Now what is that is, during the adolescence time, in males, sperms start formed. Sperms are formed in the testis. Production of the sperms occur in the testis, and this starts from during the adolescence time until continue till the death. Okay, but when we talk about the female reproductive system, ovum is already produced in the female body when the girl child is in the womb of her mother. That means during the developmental stage only ovum are produced in the female ovary. And when the girl child, after birth, the girl child takes, or we say that reaches to the adolescence time. So the time period after birth till adolescence, many of the ovum, they are degenerated, because during the embryonic stage millions of ovum are present, but many gets degenerated during the growth time, that is after birth till age of adolescence, or we say 11 to 12 years of age. Then afterwards, during the adolescence time, these ova, they get mature and one by one they are released from the ovaries, and these ova are released once in a time period of 28 days. And this release of ova within 28 days is called as the menstrual cycle, or we call it as a menstruation. Okay, so here we say that ovum are released. So ovary is the female reproductive organ. It is the main female reproductive organ which is meant for release of ovum. Along with the ovum, ovary is responsible for release or secretion of hormone. And the name of the hormone is estrogen. Name of the hormone is estrogen, which is responsible for the making this uterus wall thick. When ova is released, during that time estrogen hormone is also released, which makes the uterus wall, inner wall of the uterus thick. That is, endometrium layer becomes thick, and this thickening is due to the accumulation of blood. Blood brings the nutrients and it accumulates over here in the endometrium and makes the endometrium layer thick. Okay, so here we say that ovum is released from the ovary, hormone is released, that is estrogen, from the ovary, resulting in the thickening of the endometrium layer of uterus. Now this ova, it released from here in the ovary and is received by these finger-like projections. These finger-like projections are fimbriae. They used to allow, or we say they allow the passage to the ovum, so that ovum can move in the oviduct. Now when this ovum, it enters into the oviduct, it reaches over here, and this oviduct is the site of fertilization. That means where the fertilization occurs. It waits for the sperm for fertilization. Now ovum reaches over here, and if it does not find sperms, then it gets degenerated and enter into the uterus. When there is no fertilization, no sperms, then ovum gets degenerated and it enters, or it is expelled into the uterus. And when it enters into the uterus, we say the unfertilized or dead ovum, then along with this ovum, this uterus lining which has become thick, okay, so this also gets degenerate. This endometrium lining, it also gets degenerate, resulting in when this lining degenerates, then what will happen? The blood which is accumulated is of no use. The nutrient which is present in the blood, in the endometrium, that is also no use, causes the breakdown of the endometrium layer. This endometrium layer, it breaks, causing the bleeding, which is called as menstruation. And it lasts for about 3 to 5 days. So this is with the menstruation period, that is the bleeding occurs for 3 to 5 days, so that this complete waste blood can be removed from the uterus. Okay, so now this is in the case when no fertilization occurs, and this cycle occurs, or it is repeated after every 28 days. Okay, so now this was the condition, first thing. Second, we say that when the sexual intercourse has occurred, sperms are released in the uterus. During that time, what happens? Now, so just have a look over here. If I make this lining again, this is the endometrium. Okay, so now what will happen? Ova is released from the ovary. Along with ova, estrogen hormone is released. estrogen hormone enters into the bloodstream, blood accumulates and it gets collected, which makes the endometrium lining thick. Now endometrium lining has become thick due to the estrogen hormone, and ova is released. Ova is received by the fimbriae, finger-like projections. Then it guides the ova to enter into the oviduct. When it reaches, ova reaches in the oviduct, if during that time sperms are provided, so what will happen? Sperms, they enter. This is the direction of entry of sperm. Okay, the sperms enter. Sperms are released during the sexual intercourse into the uterus. Then the sperm, if the sperm reaches to the ova, then the sperm which first reaches to the ova will be able to fertilize the ovum, and only one sperm fuses with one ovum. So the first sperm which reaches with the ova brings, or we say the changes the ovum from ovum to zygote. That means fertilization occurs. Now this ovum has converted to zygote. Okay, so now when this zygote is formed, then this zygote, it undergo, though it is what? Now zygote is what? It is unicellular. It is unicellular because single cell. Now this zygote, it divides and it becomes multicellular structure. Multicellular structure. Now this structure is called as embryo. This multicellular structure is called as embryo. Now it enters into the uterus and it attaches with the uterus wall. It enters into the uterus and attaches with the uterus wall. When it attaches with the uterus wall, this endometrium layer, it covers the embryo. Endometrium layer, it covers the embryo, and finger-like projections are formed between the two. Okay, finger-like projections are formed between the two. That means now this embryo is able to take the blood or the nutrients from the mother's womb or mother's blood. Now there is blood to blood contact between the embryo and the mother's blood. So nutrients are utilized or absorbed from the mother's blood. Now further division occurs. Now this converts into fetus, and when this attachment occurs, the attachment of embryo to the endometrium wall is called as implantation. Attachment of embryo to the uterus wall is called as implantation, and now the female is said to be pregnant. Means pregnancy is detected only when embryo gets attached to the uterus wall, or we say implantation has occurred. Then only the pregnancy is detected. Okay, so now what will happen? This uterus wall, it becomes thick. It becomes thick, and this thick disc-like structure, which is in connection with the fetus and provide nutrition to the developing fetus, this is called as placenta. This is called as placenta, and from placenta a cord-like structure, tube-like structure arises through which the nutrients are provided to the fetus, and this tubular structure structure is called as the umbilical cord. It is called as umbilical cord, which is connected to the placenta and to the fetus. Now this fetus, it undergo developmental changes, and within 9 months the development of the fetus is completed. That means the day of attachment of embryo to the endometrium or to the uterus wall till the delivery of the fetus, or we say the baby, the birth of a baby takes place. That time period is 9 months, and this time period of 9 months is called as the gestation period. It is called as gestation period, or during this time the development of the fetus occurs inside the mother's womb, where the development of different organs, body parts, it occurs. So this here we have completed with the female reproductive system. Now once again just have a look. Ovary releases ova, ova received by fimbriae, fimbriae allow the ova to enter into the oviduct, fertilization occurs in the oviduct. When ova are released, estrogen hormone is released. Estrogen hormone makes the uterus, inner wall of the uterus lining thick for the attachment or for implantation, so that it can provide nutrition to the developing embryo. Now ova reaches to the oviduct, fertilization occurs, then zygote is formed. Zygote becomes multicellular, then we call it as embryo. Embryo enter into the uterus, then attaches to the uterus wall. Now it is called as fetus. When it attaches with the uterus wall, endometrium or inner lining of the uterus covers the embryo. Thick wall in the endometrium occurs, which results in the formation of placenta. Umbilical cord is formed. Then this complete structure is the fetus. Fetus takes 9 months for the development. This 9-month time period is called as gestation period. Attachment of embryo to the uterus wall is called as implantation, and implantation is the symbol of pregnancy. After implantation only it is said that the female is pregnant. When the implantation is done, fetus is developed, gestation period is completed. Then when gestation period is completed, then hormone oxytocin hormone is released, which causes the middle layer of uterus to contract. This middle layer of the uterus, it contracts, causes the labor pains and expel the fetus out of the body of the mother, or we say the delivery of the baby has taken place or the birth of a baby occurs. So this is a complete female reproductive system. Now let us discuss the complete female reproductive system fertilization process in brief. See here, ovary. 2 ovaries are there. Alternately the ovum is produced. Ovary releases ovum. 1 ovary releases 1 ovum at a time. Then this ovum is received by finger-like projections called fimbriae. Fimbriae guides the ovum to enter into the oviduct or fallopian tube, where fertilization occurs. So oviduct is the site of fertilization. Now fertilization occurs. Then after fertilization, zygote is formed. Zygote is single cell structure. It divides and it forms the embryo, which is a multicellular structure. This embryo, it enters into the uterus. Embryo enters into the uterus, and simultaneously when we have seen that when ovum is released, ovary releases hormone called as estrogen. This estrogen acts on the endometrium or the inner lining of the uterus, and inner lining of the uterus, it becomes thick due to accumulation of blood, and this blood contains the nutrients. So when the embryo, it enters into the uterus, and it attaches to the endometrium wall, and this process is called as implantation. After implantation only it is said that the female is pregnant. Okay. So what will happen after implantation? There is formation of placenta, that is the inner lining of, we say, the endometrium, where the embryo has attached. It becomes thick and now it forms a disc-like structure which we call as placenta. Now this, after formation of placenta, that embryo is called as the fetus. It takes the nutrients from the mother's blood. So there is a blood-to-blood connection of the fetus with the mother. Then fetus takes 9 months for completion of the complete developmental phase. It gets developed inside the mother's womb, and 9 months are required for its complete development. This 9-month period is called as gestation period. When gestation period is completed, 9 months over, then oxytocin hormone is released. This hormone acts on the myometrium, or we call it as the middle layer of the uterus, and this myometrium or the middle layer of the uterus, it contracts, causing the labor pains, which results in the contraction of the uterus, and delivery of a baby takes place, or we say that the birth of the baby occurs. So this is the complete process from fertilization till the birth of a baby. When the organism, or after zygote, see the developmental structures, we won't call the organism inside the mother's womb as baby. First zygote is formed, second embryo is there, then fetus. So during the developmental phase, we call it as the fetus, and after birth only we call it as baby, not the baby inside the mothers. So we are using the term fetus, embryo and zygote. So fetus completes the gestation period, then only the birth of the fetus occurs, and then it is called as a baby.